For any of you that are curious about some of the suspension bits, I'll just do this little quickie here. All of these parts are from Total Control products, with the exception of the bump steer kit. That's a Bear Brakes part. But the Total Control, this stock spindle, the Total Control product stuff, I really like. I use a rod end here, correct some of the geometry by putting this bend in it here. Their Strut Rod uses a spherical, this thing obviously needs cleaning and lubing, but there's a spherical bearing in there, so there's no stiction really anywhere in this suspension. Same thing goes up at the top. This is what happens when you buy components at different points in time. I've got a different paint finish on here with this hammer tone. Also Total Control product, all part of Chris Alston's Chassis Works now. Up on the top, those of you who know these cars will also know that we've moved the suspension around a bit. Let me see if I can get a little more light inside here and make this a little better. Up in here, you can see how this area up in front supports that. We've actually got a piece that relocates the pivot point up a bit. I had lowered it a full 1 3/4, which was the mod they used to do for road racing. When this became more of a drag car, in order to get the droop square, we had to put this piece in, which is also a Total Control Products piece. See the AFCO shocks, see how I sectioned the inner support on the shock tower here in order to clear the tires. You can still see witness marks there. Still have the upper bump stop. Lower droop is controlled by this little set of unions and bolts here that simply stops the spring on the downside, so we can control the total travel of it. You know, just real simple stuff. But anyway, with the help of Dale over at Dave's Alignment here, we got this thing working really good. This little bracket is for a wheel speed sensor, which will be going back on the car, I think, at some point. And then you can see how these 18-inch wheels clear the back side of, these are the Bear 6S monocoque caliper brakes, running, frankly, about as big a rotor as we can cram into this particular wheel. So that's basically it for the suspension components.